My buddy Chris brought his bike to me to fix up, and it presented with a rear derailleur problem. So in the last video where I actually showed the bike, I didn't show you how to fix this problem here, and what happens is the chain doesn't fall to the smallest cog. Now, I learned this trick from some other YouTube guy, and I can't remember who it is because it was such a long time ago, but I've seen this before, I learned from him, and I'm reapplying it today. So basically what the problem is, and it originates with SRAM rear derailleurs, the spring is just not strong enough to drop down to the smallest cog. I don't know, it's a failing to those derailleurs, and there is a fix, and this is how you do it. So what you want to do is remove the rear derailleur. It's not really very difficult. So what you do is just take all the slack off the chain, and you don't have to loosen the cable or anything like that. You just remove the rear derailleur from the hanger, just like so. Hold on to it. And what I did is I used a pedal washer. It's about 1 millimeter, and really that's all there is to it. You just put a 1 millimeter spacer. You might be able to use like axle washers or something, but use a 1 millimeter spacer, and then you just tighten that rear derailleur right back on. But what it does, and I never could have conceived this myself, what it does, it just moves the rear derailleur out just 1 millimeter, just enough so the spring actually works a little bit better and drops the chain onto the small cog. Now, one of the problems I found on this particular derailleur is if you tighten it up too much, then it doesn't move up and down properly. It impedes the spring a little bit, so you just loosen it off and it'll just sit perfectly tight in there. Now, I put the chain back on, and what I'm going to do is just adjust the limit screw enough so, or maybe even just a little bit more, so that the chain actually drops onto the small cog, and then we can readjust it after. And I'm also going to readjust the B screw because I put it in all the way when I was trying to fix it up the first time, and I didn't really know the cause. So what we'll do here is, there we go. We want it to start dropping, so we'll just, unscrew the limit screw, which is the high gear limit screw, and there we go. We just did a few, like a half turn maybe, and it dropped right onto the cog. So now we got to test it and check our work, and it seems to be working. Try it again. There we go. It actually is working perfectly fine. Again, I'm gonna have to say thanks to that other YouTube guy. I'm gonna do a deep dive and see if I can find him again, but whoever you are, you know who you are, and if you know the video, maybe comment below, and we'll give that guy the credit that he deserves, because I didn't make this up. Like, this guy's helped me out twice now, so I want to give him the credit that he deserves. Another problem here is, since we moved the rear derailleur out a little bit, we're going to have to readjust the low limit screw, which is the big cog. And we also don't want to drop the chain behind it, so we're just going to slowly loosen out the limit adjuster until it starts jumping up there. Now, this for me on this particular bike was a bit of a process because the chain just keeps skipping. Even when it's on the cog, it keeps skipping, and I only want to change it like 1/8 of a turn, simply because I don't want the chain to drop, so I want to make sure I get it perfect. As you can see there, the chain, it always has that little jump, and I'm not sure if the cog is bent or what. So we're just going to make sure we adjust this perfectly, and it takes a little bit of time. You have to have some patience, but I got time. I want to make sure that it's done right for my buddy because he's bringing it to me and he's trusting me. So we got to make sure it's a good job. We're going to make sure that the video shows him how to fix it again himself so that he can save his money, for one thing. And, he doesn't have to go through the big rigmarole of bringing the bike to me, because I live downtown and he lives way out in, the middle of nowhere, like our haven. Which it's pretty far, and really I think the only reason he comes is because he works really close. So as you can see, it just keeps doing it. Like, it just keeps kind of skipping on the cog. So I'm just going to slowly keep turning the limit adjuster out until I find the right spot. Now, at a certain point, you just can't do it anymore because the limit screw will just fall out. So what we want to do here, and I'm just going to kind of give you an idea, is use the barrel adjuster on the shifter, because there's no barrel adjuster on the rear derailleur. But what that's going to do is it's just going to micro adjust in a different way so that we can find the perfect sweet spot on that big cog with no skipping and, of course, not dropping the chain. Now we've done that, and we're just going to test, the downshifting again, and there we go. It still works perfectly fine. I hope this video helps you out. We're going to give accolades to the other guy, the other YouTube guy. And if you want to watch the full inspection and fix up of this bike, you can click right here.